10 Best Places to Visit in Asia. Asia is the largest continent by both size and population, a diverse, multicultural melting pot of some of the oldest civilizations on Earth. There's so much to see and do in Asia, it's hard to narrow it down to a shortlist. It could take you months to truly explore just one country. For those on a tighter schedule or budget, the secret to discovering the best places to travel in Asia is to see a bit of everything, from the skyscrapers of Hong Kong to the majestic slopes of Mount Fuji and the architectural marvel of places like Angkor Wat in Cambodia. Regardless of what you truly want to experience in your travels through Asia, there's surely a spot somewhere to fill that need. To help you plan the trip of a lifetime, take a look at our list of the best places to visit in Asia. 1. Mount Fuji, Japan. Although Mount Fuji is an active stratovolcano, it hasn't erupted since 1708. The stunning snow-capped mountain is one of Japan's 3 holy mountains, which are traditionally considered to hold a particular power. Mount Fuji has volcanic power. If this doesn't sound ominous enough, the base of the mountain is also home to Aokigahara. Also known as the Suicide Forest, this dense forest growing on hardened lava is home to ice caves, a combination that absorbs sound and creates an eerie feeling of solitude. While many visitors come here to just photograph this World Heritage List cultural site and well-known symbol of Japan, others arrive for the climbing opportunities. Until the late 19th century, women were not allowed to make their way to the summit, which is still considered a sacred site, so visitors of all ethnicities, genders, and ages now arrive to make up for lost time. There are 4 possible routes to reach the top of the mountain, and all offer a number of stops along the way in the form of shrines, historical monuments, and even tea houses. 2. Dead Sea, Israel. The dark blue waters of the Dead Sea touch the borders of both Jordan and Israel. Actually a lake despite its name, the Dead Sea sits at the lowest land elevation on Earth, over 430 meters below sea level. With a salt concentration of around 31%, almost 10 times saltier than the ocean, the Dead Sea is so thick, nothing can sink into it, and everyone who walks into it will naturally float. While the coastline around the lake has become a flourishing spa and resort destination, there is also a large influx of religious tourism in the area. Jericho, the city where Jesus is said to have healed blind beggars, is located just minutes northwest of the Dead Sea, and a number of other cities, including the legendary Sodom and Gomorrah, as well as Zor and Admah, are also located in this area. The area boasts some of the oldest inhabited cities in the world. 3. Phuket, Thailand. Thailand's biggest island is also a magnet for visitors, and for good reason. Phuket boasts some of the best beaches in the country, with clean, soft, rolling sands and turquoise waters as far as the eye can see. Kata, Hat Karen, and Kamala beaches see a lot of tourists during the high season, November to February, but remain sleepy little villages once the rains arrive. Beautiful coral reefs line up the coastline, offering amazing opportunities for snorkeling and diving, but also sea kayaking and island hopping. In between hours of lying under the sun, visitors can head to the white and gold Wat Chalong, the largest and most important Buddhist temple on the island, or climb up a hill to reach the Big Buddha, a 45-meter-tall statue covered with Burmese marble. The island is also home to a number of unique festivals. The Ghost Festival during the 7th Chinese lunar month is dedicated to ancestor worship, and it entails releasing lanterns into the ocean to help guide lost souls, a sight to behold. 4. Beijing, China. One of the most populous cities in the world, Beijing is also one of the oldest. You can get a peek into that history by walking the hutongs of Beijing, the narrow alleyways lined up with traditional homes and courtyards. China's capital is home to 7 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, including the Imperial Summer Palace and its gardens, the oldest canal in the world, and the Forbidden City, a palace complex that served as the home of China's emperors for 500 years starting in the 1420s. The Forbidden City, made up of almost 1,000 different buildings, is one of Beijing's most impressive tourist attractions. The city also offers visitors many unique-looking pagodas and temples, including the 12th century, 8-sided Tianning Temple, as well as almost 150 museums and galleries. 5. Hoien, Vietnam. Most visitors arriving in Vietnam land in either Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, or head straight to Halong Bay and the beach, but Vietnam's best place to visit is actually a well-guarded secret. The ancient city of Hoien is home to one of Asia's oldest trading ports and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A major commercial stop for trading ships as far back as the 15th century, Hoien still maintains much of its original architecture in the form of timber frame buildings, colorful French colonial shutters, and Chinese tiled roofs. Religious buildings, courtyards, and shophouses sit side by side on narrow alleyways all across ancient town, Hoian's historical center. Every full moon cycle, Hoian celebrates the Lantern Festival, which honors ancestors through light. On the night before the full moon, all the lights in the ancient town are turned off, and colorful lanterns and candles are placed on windows, inside houses, and on boats lazily floating down the river. 6. Hong Kong. Over 7.4 million people from all over the world occupy the small 1,104 square kilometer island of Hong Kong, making it the third most densely populated place in the world. Despite having one of the world's highest per capita incomes, income inequality has become one of Hong Kong's main issues, and lower-income families often live in crowded tenement buildings. The buildings themselves have become tourist attractions, as many are historic structures dating back over a century. 7. Angkor Wat and Siem Reap, Cambodia. The resort town of Siem Reap is better known as being the gateway to the Angkor region and the magnificent temples left behind by the Khmer civilization. The largest religious monument in the world, Angkor Wat was built in the early 12th century and stretches over an area of over 160 hectares. Siem Reap itself is an exciting mix of Chinese and French colonial architecture. A place. 8. Singapore. Singapore only gained full independence from the UK and became a sovereign state in 1965, but this brand new country is now a financial powerhouse and one of the most fun countries to visit in Southeast Asia. Because of its size and location, Singapore doesn't have a lot of beaches unless you count the 3 beaches on Sentosa Island Resort, small but with soft white sands and protected lagoons with clean blue waters, but it makes up for it with themed attractions. 9. Kingdom of Bhutan. Bhutan is a landlocked country surrounded by the Himalayas, Tibet, and parts of India. A nation of steep mountains, green valleys, and swift rivers, Bhutan is home to 7,570-meter-tall Gangkhar Puensum, the world's highest unclimbed mountain. Some of the most beautiful sights in the country are high up. Perched on cliffs. Tiger's Nest Monastery is a good example, set over 3,000 meters up in the mountains and only reachable after a grueling hike. 10. Kathmandu, Nepal. Nepal's capital and largest city is also known as the City of Temples. A melting pot of Hindu and Buddhist religious influences, Kathmandu is full of stupas including Nepal's holiest Buddhist site, Bhutannath, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and Swayambhu, home to holy monkeys and one of the oldest temples in Nepal. Both those looking for a religious experience and camera-toting tourists can find much to appreciate in a city where spirituality touches almost everything. Sitting at an elevation of over 1,400 meters above sea level, Kathmandu is a popular gateway to the Himalayas and to nearby destinations like the ancient city of Patan. Climbers from all over the world arrive here to set off on their 15-day-long Everest Base Camp trek, but overnight trips around the city are also popular to catch sight of the Himalayas in all their splendor. Like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel.